Hey guys, welcome back and thank you so much for rocking with me these past couple of weeks. Listen, I am Antoinette Malcolm, the CEO and founder of Love Esteem. So this week, one of the things that has really been on my mind is to encourage somebody to not be afraid to take the leap and break those generational curses. Don't be afraid to do it. Like I said last week, somebody's counting on you. And if you're not going to make the decision to do it, that just means that those that are behind you are going to have to try to do it. Don't be afraid to go forth. Don't be afraid to break the mold. Don't be afraid to be your own uniqueness. Be you. Be you. You're not cut from the same cloth. Yeah, I know that may not sound right, but no, you're not cut from the same cloth. You're different than your mother. You're different than your father. You're different than those that are around you. And just because society gave you an identity does not mean that you have to walk into it. No, you know very well you're not who they say you are. You weren't cut from the same cloth as them. You were different. You were meant to stick out like a thumb. You're not the same as everyone else in your family. Now, granted, they may say, oh, you think you better than us. No, I don't think I'm better than you. I just want better than you. There's a prime example. Stay humble, but do better. Stay humble, but do better. You're not cut from the same cloth as them, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. Prime example, I grew up without my father. Grew up in a single parent home. Grew up in one of the roughest hoods in Miami-Dade County. Grew up at a school that had a great football team, but sometimes the academics failed. I grew up in that community, but I did not allow that to dictate who I am today. That's only a portion of my life. It's not my life. That's only a portion of who you are. Your mom not teaching you certain skills, that's only a portion. Take responsibility now. Make the decision today. Okay, mama ain't teach me that. Daddy wasn't there. This person left me. That person left me. Okay, fine. But today, make today count. Make today count. Do it for those that are coming behind you. Break those generational curses for your niece. Break those generational curses for your nephew. Break those generational curses for your little brothers, your cousin, your little sister. Break those generational curses. Be that template for your family so that when you leave, you don't leave them repeating the same cycle that somebody set up for you. It's no longer time for you to say, they didn't teach me. Oh, you're old enough now, baby. You old enough now. You grown enough now. You on your big girl, big boy thing. So now this is your time to make that difference. This is your time to set the standard high. I was talking to my nephew and I told him, I said, you know, the reason why I rock so hard, I don't have children, but the reason I rock so hard, the reason why I go so hard, the reason why I set a different standard for you is because of the fact that I want my ceiling where I cap out at to be the best foundation that you can possibly have. And it's up to you to take advantage of it. So no, I didn't grow up with certain skills. My mom didn't teach me certain skills. She was an absolutely amazing mother, and she still is today. But there are certain things that mama didn't teach me. But just because she didn't teach me does not mean that I did not want to be a student to learn. It doesn't mean that I had to take away and be like, wait a minute, this is different from me. I left everything that I knew, hopped in a green Honda Civic, packed up, and moved to Atlanta only on the fact that God told me to. I didn't know anybody up here. But I knew I had to do something different. Don't be afraid to do something different for your family. Don't be afraid to do something different to break those curses in your family. Don't be afraid to. Everybody's not meant to walk those paths. And you don't need to be afraid to be different. Be you. Be your own uniqueness. I want to encourage you today, this week, Be your own uniqueness. If you don't take anything else away from what I say to you and what I've been talking to you about, take this away. Just because they gave you that doesn't mean that you have to accept it. Just because they told you, all right, this is where I'm setting you up at, this is where I'm taking you, doesn't mean that you have to accept it. If you don't like what you're in, if you don't like the cycle that you're in, if you don't like the life that you're in, you have the choice. You have the ability, and you have the power within yourself to change it. But what makes you different is the fact that you have to come off of the other side of fear. Fear only produces failure. I'll say that again. Fear only produces failure. Well, how is that possible? Fear will cause you to not move. Fear will cause you to not even start. And if you don't start, you can't even see if you're going to succeed. There's nothing stopping you but you. As always, I love you guys. I pray that you have an absolutely amazing week. I will tune in and talk to y'all next week. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube at Love Esteem. That's LUVESTEEM. I love you all. See you so much. Talk to you next week. Mwah.